Did you push a button?
Yep.
Hi, everyone. I'm Deb Goldberg, and I'm here for Enlightened World. And I'm interviewing Dr. Ruth Anderson today because she has been interviewing all of the co-authors for this amazing book that we're launching today for $1 on Amazon in the Kindle version. And it's called Gateway to an Enlightened World, Volume 1, Collective Life Lessons for Planetary Transformation. Ruth, welcome. I'm so happy to be here with you, interviewing you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. So thank you.
You have been such a gift in helping us launch this book and the summit and everything else that you have done. And I thought it was just so important to acknowledge your chapter. That is the last chapter in this volume, and it's called the Enlightened Women, Enlightened Youth Summit Unpacked. Can you tell us why you chose that?
I can, but first what I want to do is show you the book because I am the only one in the world that has a hard copy. So this is it, folks. I'm sure it's worth millions because it is so rare. So, I chose to include an interview that took place. And it was an interview, Deb, that you ran on Angel Heart Radio. And it was about the summit. And it was Terry Angel was with us. So it was the three of us. And we really were just talking about how the summit, Enlightened Women, Enlightened You, came to be. Well, the reason it ended up in this book is because most of the chapters are written by speakers from that summit. So that's why it's in here. And we did this beautiful interview, and Archangel Michael was with us in the room, and Divine Mother was with us in the room, and we were remembering all the little pieces of putting together that summit. And then I sat down to write a chapter about creating the summit and all of the life lessons that I learned and the transformational moments for me of learning to trust Archangel Michael like I have never experienced before in my life. And as I started to write it, I realized I wanted to write about everything we talked about in that interview. And I thought, well, this is crazy. I'm just going to put in the interview. So it's all in there. Every funny little detail about it coming together it's in there.
Mm-hmm. And I was just telling you before, I read most of the chapters in the book, and I hadn't read yours. So I looked at it today and I was really shocked. I had no idea that it was the interview from Angel Heart Radio, but it was profound. And you spoke about all those different pieces that came into place for you making this summit happen. And I thought it was really important that people had a role model for if they want to do something like this, that they hear somebody who did it, listening, really being micromanaged divinely, right? Absolutely. So that you are fulfilling what you're being asked to do, and doing it in such a graceful way of moving through the whole summit with pieces that you didn't know how to do, that you just somehow got figured out. It came to you. They brought it to you. They brought people to you. And I just think that the chapter is so important to share of what it's like to really follow divine leadership.
Well, what was very funny to me, Deb, was every morning I would go into meditation and I would literally get a to-do list of, create a Facebook post or, write an article or, get Sue, who does the technology piece, to create a Facebook page. I mean, some of them were big things, right? But I would get a big list every day. And every once in a while I would think, how are there enough hours in the day to get all this done? Well, right about in the middle of it, I get this gift from the universe of, oh, you need to move your mother now. And she was in a memory care unit and she needed to leave that one. They weren't meeting her needs and come across town. And I thought, okay, I think I'm understanding this now. They're giving me these tasks to do to bring enlightened women, enlightened you into the world. And now they just dropped this other thing into my lap that is very time intensive because they're showing me to trust them that everything can get done in a given day because they're working it.
Mhm.
So to prove it to me, they, gave me this other task. And I didn't sweat that other task because I knew they were showing me that for a reason. And we got mom moved. We got everything done in the summit in time. So I have a greater awareness and appreciation now of what can be done in a given day when you're working with spirit on an activity that they're supporting.
Mhm. Yeah, making all the pieces come together.
Yeah.
And what you did so beautifully is, so I won't say that you never got stressed, but you carried it off so gracefully. And then here it is, the honor of every one of us speakers and some participants that are now part of this anthology that you have been divinely led to put together, which is a bestseller, as we know right now.
That's right. On Amazon, it is a bestseller in the United States in the area of angels, spiritual gifts, and angels and spirit guides. And we've had some good productivity, what's the word? Some selling taking place over in the UK and in the Netherlands. So we're expecting to hear about some international accolades coming our way over the next several hours.
Well, it has been so much fun today launching this book with you and all the speakers. And I know that everybody's really grateful. But I have another question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Why is Enlightened World doing this? Like, what is it doing? Where's it going?
Enlightened World was designed by Archangel Michael. And he came to me, I don't know, 2 years ago, maybe, and said to build this platform to support light workers to get their voices out into the world, that the world needs them so badly right now to get their voice out into the world. But some of them were getting stuck on things like, how do I publish a book? How do I create a website? That kind of thing. And it was taking folks offline when we need them the most. And so I created Enlightened World with Archangel Michael telling me all the different parts to include. And I used Sue Seekoff and Dido Clark. They're my mainstays in putting this together. And during the summit, Archangel Michael said, so now create an anthology. And I had wanted to create an anthology, and I was just waiting for the opportunity to be able to do that. And here it was. And he said, ask the speakers and ask the participants from the summit if they want to have a chapter in there. And then the next day he said, well, okay, it's actually 2 anthologies. And I thought, really? We're going to be able to have enough people to fill out 2 anthologies? And it was yes. I said, okay. And then I heard, and have them ready in time for Christmas presents. Oh, golly. Okay. So here it is. And it's here in time for Christmas presents. So it can happen. Time can be shifted. But the reason that Enlightened World exists is to give light workers a place to get their voice into the world. And it provides other folks who are maybe new to spirit or new to energy a safe place to come and learn about it. And so that's what this is. This is light workers coming out to say, here's my story. This is how I got through that death. This is how I got through that sexual assault. And it was with the spiritual divinity by my side. And it's so we can hear the story and so others can learn from the story and hopefully decide to reach out to the spiritual divinity themselves. That's really what this is about. It's bringing heaven to earth. It's giving everybody the knowledge that they have an archangel, they have the spiritual divinity, they've got the divine mother just waiting to connect with them. That's an enlightened world.
Well, that is a beautiful divine task for you that you are sharing with so many light workers that need that kind of help. That you are enlightened world, and you and the divine are lifting everybody up to help them understand that they matter and that their story and their gifts are needed in the world to help other people become uplifted as well. So thank you. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being an amazing role model, for having a loving heart, for bringing this together and bringing all of us together to share it.
You are so welcome. And one of the most exciting things for me is seeing the different speakers and people connected with this, connecting to each other, and the possibilities that are coming together for folks. I mean, we've got Terry Angel now as a host on Angel Heart Radio, and she didn't even know you all existed when the summit started. So there's several amazing stories like that.
There has been several stories of even me just interacting with other speakers that we've started creating things. And it has been such a joy to be part of this. And I'm so happy that you wrote this chapter. I'm grateful that you shared the broadcast, and so that other people can understand what it's been like to have this adventure. Because really,
it has been an adventure, and it's not done, because yeah, we're seeing things like a third anthology coming out. We're seeing a retreat that is kind of looking like it might be in Sedona in September. We're seeing big picture things. So it's an adventure, and I am loving it. And I'm so glad, Deb, that you're part of it.
Thank you. So am I. And then we also have Sunday summits on Enlightened World Network on Facebook.
Yep, and Sunday summits are the brainchild of Divine Mother and Archangel Michael. And Archangel Raphael is saying, yes, me too. But it's really a care package, a spiritual care package to help folks get through the holidays. Now, some people love the holidays and they don't need any kind of support. Well, they're welcome to join us too, because it's just a beautiful time of coming together. We talk about a different topic each time. Last week was on grief and loss, which was really profound. And we've got a special one coming up on December 15th for the winter solstice. That's going to be amazing. We have one coming up this Sunday about turning pain into joy. So that's going to be, they're really good topics. And then we have an experiential time of it too, either a meditation or a sound healing, something like that.
Yeah, so it's really important for people to know that this anthology is just a small part of the rest of what is going on Enlightened World. And so we want to help people know that there is ongoing support, spiritual help for whatever they need.
Well said. Thank you, Deb.
Yeah. So thank you, Ruth. And I know that you have a bunch of other interviews to do today with the other co-authors, but thank you so much for taking the time and letting people meet you and know about your chapter.
Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure. And I just thank you to all of our friends that are hanging out on Facebook Live and for supporting us as we're going through this launch. So we love you all and we appreciate you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.